Okay, so Olivia just asked, she was looking at her pricing page on Hotjar, and she was seeing that a lot of people were coming and leaving. One thing to remember, Olivia, is that even though people are coming to your site, not everybody is going to really be reaching out because, again, you only want the people that can afford you, first of all. Like, that's why
Yeah.
we put our starting prices. So you can't expect everybody that's coming to that page to actually reach out. So that's, I think, number one, like mentality shift when we're looking at the pricing page. Um, so then my next question for you is, are you still getting inquiries? Because I know you're running ads. So are you still getting like
Mhm.
a good amount with that, or how's that looking?
Yeah, I would say I'm still getting a good amount of inquiries. The last week has been a little bit slower, but I say that as I got like three more this morning. And I don't know, I think my Google thing was just down for a little bit because each time I try to click on Google, my Google account, it wouldn't load the last like 5 days. So I'm
Oh.
not sure if maybe that was like a weird issue because the moment it loaded today for the first time in 5 days, everything
Hmm.
started working again. So I don't know.
Weird.
Weird.
Did Google give you like a penalty?
I don't know. Maybe it gave like a weird penalty, but I mean it's fine now?
Did
Question
they
marks.
like let you know? Like, did they email you like, hey, your ads have stopped running? Hmm.
Nope,
Okay.
literally nothing. It just kind of like stopped working the last couple of days, and I'm like,
Hmm.
weird, very strange. But I think it's fine now. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I want to look at your pricing page, so let me pull it up real quick. 1 second. So, Olivia. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Okay. All right. So let's go to your investment. And so, oh, that's right. We have weddings and engagements. Okay. So they're going to this page,
Hmm.
and then this heading might be too long.
Okay.
I would maybe do, that nostalgic feeling of the good old days when looking at old photos. I'd probably remove the homemade videos part, and you can reuse that somewhere else if you want, but good old days with old photos. That's how your wedding photo should feel. That would make more sense to me. Times documentary filming, elegant, yeah. This text is a little spread out just on desktop. So just do you know what I mean when I say like bring it in?
Kind of like just like the actual text box and just squeeze it this way. Okay.
Yeah. Because people, when it's this long, like people are like, and it's just like, it's too hard
Fair.
for people to read. Think about when you're reading a book, right? The page is like this big. So when you're reading, you can just really get through it quickly. And
Hmm.
ultimately, we want people to be able to skim your content pretty well. So that's why we don't want like something that's hard to read. Ever felt so present in a moment that you forgot about your phone? So is this a testimonial? I would make this text white too to match.
Is it not? Wait.
No, it's like a beige.
Oh, okay. I'll change that for sure.
And then make them capitalized, their names, or make their names bigger so that we know it's like a testimonial too, because
Okay.
I was unclear at first. Okay. Um, Kansas City wedding packages. Okay, so you have that and then okay. Okay. So change the paragraph text here to not this to be black.
Okay.
It's easier to read. And you know what I would do? I wouldn't make this two columns, Olivia. I would make this one column of just uh like one thing on the page and then maybe smack an image on the side, you know?
Got you.
So
Yeah.
like put an image here, put all the bullet points here
Okay.
from a usability standpoint. Okay, so then what you're saying is they get here and then they leave.
You kind of like scroll maybe a little bit past usually to see the destination stuff, and then they leave.
Okay, I see. Same thing here. Do the one column well, I guess you have the photo background. Maybe just center with one. Actually, I would want to keep them similar format so that it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah.
So maybe just do a different background color and then put this image on the side.
Okay.
Okay, so I would maybe put this because it's so stand out. Like, not that we don't want them to know that information, but it could, I don't know. I would probably just put it up here, like starting at $4,000, you know?
Okay.
And then same thing here. Just move this up and put it like underneath here too. I think what we're missing is like the value of the wedding packages. So here you're saying full wedding gallery delivered 1 month post wedding. Do a whole section devoted to that before you
Okay.
even mention pricing, because then they're like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Like, love that. Um, let's see. Attending any venue or planner. And then this is a cool like differentiator too. Right now I'm pulling differentiators that you're putting here in your packages and if they're included in each package, then like let's highlight that on the pricing page itself. So I mean even with a
Okay.
destination wedding, you're probably going to tour the venue the day before or something. So um make a section for that, make a section for that. Uh I pr I hesitate to put client gifts because I really like to surprise my couples with the gifts.
Mm,
So it's kind of like an above and beyond thing where we don't really necessarily need to mention that as a part of it, but like then they get it in the mail and they're like, "Oh, wow. I didn't know this was going to happen, you know." Polaroid photos
right.
is cool though. You could probably do a section on that as well and share some examples of you shooting with your Polaroid camera and like some Polaroids. Again, and then this is all before you even mention price because then it's like you're warming them up, right? Think about it from
Right.
a sales perspective. You're not just going to be like, "Okay, here's everything that's offered." It's like, "No, no, no, check this out. I'm going to give you Polaroid photos. And did you know you're also going to get your wedding gallery within 1 month of your wedding day?" A lot of photographers don't do that, you know. Most like average time you're waiting for a gallery is like minimum of like 3 months average time, right? You know, just like play into that of like this is a huge value. Um, that's what I would probably do before you get to the packages. Just like side note. But again, remember that not everybody that comes to this page is going to be reaching out. So that's why I asked, like, are you still getting inquiries? Because if you are, then like that's great. The people that do see this page, those are, and the ones that are reaching out, like that's who we want anyway.
Mhm.
So don't be like discouraged if people are coming and leaving because they may see the price and think, oh, that's not in my budget. But that's okay. Like you're not gonna be for everyone, right?
Right.
So, you know, yeah. Those are probably just the things though that I would update on this page.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, oh, we have 9 people here. How exciting. Hi, everyone. I was like helping Livia. I can't see who's joining, so this is really exciting. Okay, guys, so check this out. I have a really exciting announcement. If you came to the Niche to Notice workshop, I was talking about how I'm working on like this new course that's coming out. So here's the deal. I'm currently putting it together, and I'm just gonna like briefly show you guys what it is real quick. Hang on one sec. So here's the sitch. This course is going to be like a really comprehensive, digestible like course and it's taking a hot sec for me to set it up because there's going to be a lot of videos and there's going to be a lot of walkthroughs and a lot of tutorials. Let me pull up the correct page here before I actually like dive into this. Hang on one second. I'm really excited about it though because I haven't seen anyone do this yet and I just from what I've heard in with you guys like I feel like there's like a huge gap here that just needs to be helped like photographers need a lot of help in this area. So this is my best way to do it. So what I'm kind of doing is it's going to be like uh you're like it's going to be a 7 day get your website up and running with all of your SEO done and your website structure, everything design done in 7 days. So launch your website, or if you already have a website, re-optimize your website and get it done in 7 days. So it's going to be in a day by day structure. And this is kind of what I've got going on so far. This is a Trello board. So The reason I'm telling you guys this is because you guys are going to be technically what's called early adopters. So the course is normally going to sell for like $597, but I'm getting early adopters in the course for only $150. So kind of what my old course was priced at, but this one's going to be way more comprehensive. So you're going to get that old course plus this new one. So let me just kind of, and also give me feedback because that's like kind of why I'm telling you guys today because I want to know what I'm missing and what I need to add to the course. So this is what's coming. So day one, we're going to basically be going through like how to do deep work, which is like, how to approach this course. If you're going to launch it in 7 days, you really have to devote at least like 3 to 4 hours of work in this course, right? And then we're going to go through how to define your niche. So pretty much everything that we went through with the niche to noticed workshop, but it's going to be in more digestible videos to hopefully help you guys just do it even further if the workshop was too long or you didn't want to watch the replay for like an hour I think they were each 2 hour videos. So yeah. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to create your logo and brand colors. I'm going to go over my best tips for doing that. And if you don't have one already, and then I'm going to have a spreadsheet checklist to go through for each day. So that's day one. Day two, we're going to go through the platforms. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on Show It Squarespace, WordPress with Cadence. And then I know there's Style Cloud, which is a new one too. Like there's so many new ones I'm learning about like every day. Anyway, the goal is I'm going to go through a tutorial of each. So if you don't have a website platform where you're thinking of switching, you can kind of see the functionality of both and then also just kind of get a quick tutorial on how to use it. Then we'll go through the SEO basics. Each of these videos are probably going to be like 20 minutes max so that it's really digestible and you're not sitting there for an hour in one video because I want you guys to get through the course. Anyway, then I have a Google Analytics and a Google Search Console set up, how to go about each. So Google Analytics, the one that's currently in the group is a little outdated. It was based off of the Universal Analytics, which now it's, I think, the Google Analytics 4, so it's different. So I'm going to go through that. Day three, we'll go through keywords, how to actually assess your competition, how to get backlinks, pretty much all the stuff that's in my old course, but it's going to be we're going to dive a little deeper into that, which I think is going to be really good. Then this is the cool part. So I had you guys share your designers with me. I'm working on getting actual website templates from those designers, and I'm also designing my own so that you guys actually have designs that I know will work because they'll be similar to what I've seen work in the industry. Um, anyway, so you'll have those templates to kind of just drag and drop. And I'm trying to get them for Show It. Squarespace will be a little harder to do, but Show It for sure. And then WordPress, I'm also trying to figure out as well. And so basically then what we'll do is we will build out your homepage section by section and I will go through how you should be structuring your homepage, how to actually like solve the problems, how to design it, in a way that's going to actually make sense. So you're not just like guessing based off what I'm like telling you guys. And then day five, we're going to go through your blogging. So how to blog with pick time narrative, um, go through your about page, how you should structure your about page. Day six, we're going to go through, I have a pricing and packages mini course. We touched on it in the Niche to Notice workshop, but I'm going to dive further into what you should actually include and how you can be different and all of that. How to create value with your packages, define the value of what you offer, kind of what I just did with Olivia, to be honest, but diving deeper. And then your bio and photography philosophy section, defining your packages, and then your contact page and all that. And then day seven, we're going to go through assembling your navigation, Pinterest strategy, and then I'm also going to have a behind the scenes consultation call. So I'm actually going to record a consultation call, a real one in real life, and you guys can see how I go about it. And then I'm going to give you my script. My calls have a 90% booking rate. So I know they work. So that's why I'm like, maybe I'll just film an actual consultation call and have you guys check it out. So you'll get that included. And then let's see, your lead funnel. So how to create your lead funnel, right? I'm also planning then on adding a Google Ads mini. So how to do Google Ads, because I know a lot of you guys had questions on that. So we'll have a whole course on that. And then if you guys wanted to then book a personal mentorship later, you can do that too. Anywho, all of this is coming. I'm working on it. I want it to be really digestible. I'm showing you guys this because I want suggestions on what I'm missing. So, any questions that you guys have, or things that like I can add to this course to make it better. And then, here's the other thing. You guys can actually get this course. Like I said, it's going to be about $587, but I'm pre-launching it. So it's going to be 100, it's 150 right now. So let me actually pull up the actual page here. One second. I need to get the actual URL here. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the chat if you guys want to check it out further. But you guys are welcome to actually get in on it, and this is everything that's coming, so feel free to check it out. But I want to know what you guys are. Mobile optimization, Shelby, that's a great point. Yes. That's what I had made a note of it in my mind and I didn't write it down. I'm putting that on. We're gonna do day 7. That's a good one. Mobile optimization. Hang on. I need to move you guys over here. My toolbar. Okay. So mobile optimization. That's a great one. Okay. Let's see. How much? So the course for you guys is going to be 150, but when we get launched and everything's up and going, it's going to be $587. Will we have the opportunity to purchase at the discount? Yes, you guys can buy it now. So you can get in on it. What you're going to see if you get in on it now is everything that's kind of included. Oops. Well, first of all, I have an actual like group. It's formatted a lot like school actually, which is cool, but it's just going to be for the people that buy the course. But then you would go to learning here and you, oh, okay, it's freaking out. One second. Um, you can access the course through the group and then you go here. I don't know why it's being weird. There you go. So what you'll see is my old SEO course, right? And then you have the niche to notice workshop, and then all of the website critiques are also going to go here. That's just currently in there, but you guys have access to that in the school group. What's coming is what I'm trying to figure out now. So this is my Trello board of everything that's coming with the 7 days to get it up and launched. And so what I really want to eliminate is like the guesswork in how you should structure and design each page. Oh, that reminds me, I wanted to do a landing page too. So maybe we can do that on day 5. Landing page structure. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really comprehensive. And like I said, I really want this to be digestible. So it's only gonna be like 20-minute videos max. Um, so like I feel like it's gonna be really good, but it's gonna take me some time to obviously do all of these videos. And we're still kind of formulating what the course is gonna be. So that's why if you get in on the 150, you're gonna have access to all of it when it's done, but it's not available yet. So there's like a really big discount. Anywho, can you guys think of anything else like I'm missing, or is there something that like you guys want me to go through in this course that I haven't put yet? I'm really excited about the Google Ads one. I think that one's going to be really fun as like a bonus. Um, let's see. You guys can chat or you guys can unmute yourself too, because I mean, the point of the coffee chats is kind of for just to us to hang out or ask questions. Um, But based on the market research on what y'all have told me, I think this is like the main pain points I've seen for most photographers. But I could be missing some, so that's why I'm asking.
So Danny, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I am not tech savvy at all, so this course sounds beautiful. But
Okay, cool.
I am in the process, I think I've told you, I'm in the process of making my website with my brand creator and website designer.
Right.
But the thing that I'm struggling with is, and I loved when you went over the investment page with Olivia, is how much information do I put on my website? Like, how
Yeah.
much of it should you simplify to where it's like kind of quick, like this is what she's offering. But then
Yeah.
I noticed that you had told Olivia, like on some of those bullet points, like maybe add some more like selling points.
Yeah.
That's my struggle right now is my web designer, love her, but she doesn't care like what I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like she's not
Yeah.
the one that's gonna be pulling me saying, hey, you should add more information, or hey, you should,
Yeah.
she's just doing whatever I tell her to do.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I'm just researching a ton of photographers' pages. What do I like? What seems too much? Like what? So it's like I'm kind of lost in, I feel like Goldilocks. It's like, that's too much. That's not enough. Like, where's
Yeah.
middle? Do you have any
So So
advice?
just from a research standpoint, what I've seen with Hotjar and people coming to websites is sometimes they get to your homepage and they'll just go straight to the pricing page. And so if you've got this beautiful homepage laid out with all of this wonderful information about your brand and problem solving, kind of like actually this is something that we discovered with Olivia actually, which is kind of funny. But they were going straight to her investment page and they weren't even like looking at her homepage. So that's why I'm like, your pricing page needs to have some of that messaging too, because otherwise you're missing that opportunity. So what you can ask your web designer is, hey, can you just create like little widgets that I can just duplicate design wise and just fill out with the right information? And the information that you put before you even get to the pricing should be centered around the packages, right? So like what problems are maybe like your potential clients facing when looking at other photographer packages. Okay, well, there's different time limits. So what if you just had a full day package and that was it? Or there's a there's packages that have a la carte options, but they're all an added fee. So what if you just had an all-inclusive package? And so describe how valuable that is. Like almost describing your differentiator, like what sets you apart as a photographer with your specific packages. And if you're not sure, that's something you can brainstorm and figure out. That's why I was like with Olivia, if you're claiming to have the galleries delivered within one like month, that's a huge differentiator. Most photographers deliver in 3 months, you know? So that's why it's like, highlight that. That's a huge differentiator. So that's what I meant with Olivia, where I was like, let's add some more value, but it's still relating to the packages. You can also throw in some of your photography values and things like that sprinkled in, just because there are people that will just go straight to the pricing page and that we can't really avoid that. So when that does happen, let's give it like our best foot forward and kind of formulating that. So what I would ask your designer is like, hey, can you just create like a couple of widgets for me that I can just duplicate design wise? That way I don't have to like design something out of my butt and I can just use that to like use my own messaging, you know? That's probably what I would say.
So don't judge me, but what's a widget?
Okay, like a section.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I really am not tech
So
savvy, guys.
like,
I apologize.
okay, so like this right here, this is a widget section,
Oh, okay. Because
right?
yeah, those are already
This
in
this
my
is a
show it.
section. Yeah,
Like
like
those are built in. So to
exactly. So
create
like when you're doing
more.
show it, for example, I'll show you just even further. Uh, so if I just want to see this. So like here's one section, right? I'm clicking on the mission and then here's the aesthetic break section. So if you wanted to duplicate it, you just hit that and duplicate.
Oh, awesome. Because
So
like
you
there was
could, or
one
you could
she
copy it
had.
from one page and bring it to another. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Because there was one that she had that I was like, you need to just take that out. Like that's not even worth.
Yeah.
I didn't think about like making value out of it
Hmm.
rather than taking it out. You know what I mean? Where like,
Yeah.
well, wait, instead of taking it out, how can we manipulate this to be able to like go for like what I'm going for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, a lot of people just list their all of their packages. So again, I think it's really important to definitely just start with your starting packages because it opens the door to
Yeah.
conversation where your consultation call is really going to be the selling point and you could describe the value even further. One of the things I do on my call, which you guys will see if you buy the course, is I go through actual galleries of like actual wedding days. This was a full day, this was a half day, you know. And so then they
Yeah.
can decide like, oh, well, full day actually looks more valuable because we can go sunrise to sunset. Um, and here's the example of like
Yeah.
literally Yosemite where we want to go, you know? So,
Yeah. Well, because I was even thinking like with Olivia's page, sorry, Olivia, I keep picking on you because that's who we saw today. But like with Olivia's page, I loved how she had all of her stuff out, but I've also had photographers tell me like just do a startup and then like what all of that will like every package will have this, but then send
yes,
like a collections sheet or send like if they
yes,
inquire, then send them
yes,
those broken down package.
yes.
Is that pretty
Hmm.
accurate? Because I was just going to start at my lowest one and say like elopements and weddings starting at to where it's like the low end is going to be elopement, but then if they inquire, they'll be able to see all of the collection. Am I
Well,
making
if
sense?
weddings and
Sorry.
elopements are different and elopements are a lower starting price than weddings are, then it might be
So do
shocking
two
for someone
separate.
who's coming, yeah, for like weddings. So I would separate them. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so like this is my public pricing page where you can just like use every elopement package includes, doesn't matter, it's the
Yes.
lowest package, right?
Yep.
Um,
That's what I have.
and then just kind of how do you decide which package is right for you? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have a date
Okay.
yet? No problem. That was a big problem I've saw with a lot of inquiries. Like they don't have a date yet and they're scared to book because they don't have a date yet. But most elopements don't have a date. So
Right.
this is me addressing that problem of you don't have a date, that's okay. Um, and then I have my, I think I put the average too. So the average, they start at this, but average is this. So people then right there can decide, can I actually afford
Right.
that? So, but
And
it's
those
not
are
all of my packages where I actually send the actual, oops, the actual thing is when they inquire. So then I send them to this page, which is, you can only access it by link. Google isn't searching this page. They can't
right.
access it any other way.
Yeah.
I
Which
kind of
I
have
was
a little
gonna
more
have her
value.
do. Like she was gonna make my collections page like a backlink for my website so that it's like
Okay.
bringing them back to my
Yeah.
website, kind of, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
then it's not
Mhm.
like me just sending a PDF, but it's like, oh, here's the link back to,
And I like the website format too because you can update it and it will reflect for everybody. So if you send a PDF, then you raise your prices. Then the people with the old PDF, like you have to respect that old pricing now. Whereas if you just have one link for everybody and you raise your prices, it's reflective for everyone. So there's none of that because I had that happening a lot when I first got started with a PDF. Anywho, so yeah, I send them here. And then what's funny is I put this as the starting price because I really don't even book this one. But if they're really like, I don't know if we can afford 950 and then they see this, they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can just do ceremony only. But then I explain on the call and I'm like, hey, like actually, this is a really only for like a quick elopement that's somewhere local. If you're going to Yosemite, like we can't do it in 6 hours. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Like that's not how my service will not best fulfill what I want to give you with just 6 hours. So that's why I have half day as kind of the minimum. Um, so that's kind of the way I structure it. But then I have this button here, which is really cool because it links them to my HoneyBook scheduler so they can just schedule a meeting right from there, which is cool.
okay. No, that's awesome. Cause yeah, she's sent me like my first draft and it's like I'm going through everything, like
Yeah.
fine tooth comb, where it's like, okay, like how much, I don't know, because I don't know if people spend as much time on photography websites as I have in like
Well,
researching and trying to
here's
figure things out, you know?
let me caution you too, because if you keep searching like only and looking at photographer websites, you're going to get a lot of copy mentality, which I would warn against. Like
Well, yeah, because then it's
you
not me. So
you
it's
want to
like
be
I'm trying to
original.
like get
Yeah,
ideas, but then I want to make it me, where it's like, no, I'm
exactly.
different than Joe Schmo from Kokomo. Like I want to be
Exactly.
able to do something different, you
Right.
know?
And if you
So,
can be different and think outside the box and have a website that is addressing things that maybe other websites aren't, then you would really stand out. But if you're just copying other websites, then like you're not going to be original and it's going to be hard, right?
well, no, and I feel like it's, well, I graduated in journalism, so I'm like, and that's plagiarism in a lot of ways.
It
If
is
it's like
definitely
just like
plagiarism
copy
if
paste,
you copy exactly what they're saying.
right,
As far
right,
as structure goes, you can get inspiration, but yeah, as
right.
far as like what they're saying, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, like no, I was more trying to figure out like how much are they telling? How much are they not telling? Like how
Yeah.
much are you trying to hook them and how much are you just like this is what I am, you know, like
Yeah. And that's
trying to
why I think
find that
starting
balance.
prices, like having starting prices will eliminate a lot of the, well, I don't know. I don't want to reach out. I don't even know like what the, minimum
Right,
is. And I've
right.
heard brides say they get really annoyed when they don't see the pricing. So I'm not going to put all my pricing, but I'll have the most important ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I've even had families say that. Like, please don't put inquire. Just tell us like what it starts at, because then I know if you're worth the click or not.
Yeah.
Way, you know.
Totally. Yeah,
I-
Shelby says she just purchased the course. Yay! All right, cool. Also, if you guys get the course, just from like a functionality, can you just let me know you're getting all of the emails you need to and like signups easy? This is a part of the early adopter process. I just want to make sure everything's functioning. If there is a problem, please let me know. Because this is still very new. But Shelby also says it's good to ask Chat GPT what to write on your website for like if you're stuck. And I completely agree. I think AI is a huge tool that we can totally be using. But I would use it more as inspiration. I wouldn't just like copy and paste it. So, um, but yeah, because you don't want to sound like AI, you know? Some people can really like point that out. So, but I love it. Cool, cool, cool. I love that question. That was a great question, Leslie. But yeah, I would talk to your designer about maybe just like creating like staple template sections that you can just duplicate and then you can style and, reword however you want kind of thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, sorry guys, somebody else can ask a question after this.
It's
But I
okay.
was gonna ask, so I was gonna have her do my collections, and then I had a girlfriend tell me that she had her person make one, and then she copied and pasted and made like guides off of that design. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say? So that it's like she paid for
Yeah.
one, but then she was able to like copy and paste. And you can do that the same way that you just showed me and show it,
Yeah,
right?
you can duplicate pages. I actually created a template and show it that I just duplicate for all of my landing pages. And then I'll rework it here and there and add sections or delete sections that don't make sense. But the bones of the structure are the same. So when you're building those landing pages, if you're not doing it in your blog, you can just duplicate the template and then it's like really easy. You don't have to
Yeah.
like build it from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
she was
why I
saying.
like show it for that. But
Yes. She's like, don't work
yeah,
harder than you need to. Like, create
no,
one and just keep duplicating if you like certain things. And I was like, oh my
totally.
gosh, my mind, like, like whole new world.
It saves a lot of time too, because then you don't have to like
Yeah.
start over. A lot
Yeah.
of my pages you'll see will look the same structure wise. It's because I just use a template and refine from there. So,
I love it. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Cool, cool. Oh yeah, I know. Chat GPT has been my bestie too. 100%. Actually, it's kind of creepy how AI is like overtaking everything. Like I just saw an ad for AI that created ads from someone who's like a talking head, so speaking to the camera, but it's not, it's them, but it's AI generated and they're talking and it was an ad. And I was like, ew, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. I feel like it's weird because it's like knowing my personality now. Like if I'm like, ooh, add this, or like this is my kind
Yeah,
of personality, or this is, and then it's like,
it's
ugh.
weird. And
Yeah, it kind of
it was
creeped me
like the
out when it's
person
like,
was
hi,
talking.
Leslie.
Yeah, the person was talking, but they didn't have to film anything. It was just AI generated. I'm like, that's
That's weird.
creepy. So AI is becoming more and more relevant and it's gonna be interesting. I know you can even build websites with AI. So with Squarespace, you can actually build your website with AI. So you can like generate sections and like even templates with AI based on like what you're trying to sell. So if you're a photographer and you build a website on Squarespace, it will like take that information and create a website for you out of AI. And I just like experienced that as I was preparing for this course and I was like, that's kind of insane. Um, but what else was I going to say? Oh, and then Cadence too. Cadence with WordPress is AI too. So it like builds your website off of AI, which is like at that point you don't really need a template, but still with AI it's not, I don't know if it's considering like the actual like usability factor. So I don't know. That's why I'm gonna dive into it, I think, in the course a little further. Liz is asking, I know you mentioned you're in the early stages of creating this, which is why we can take advantage of the early adopter price. I'm highly interested. Do you have an estimate of when? Yeah. So I'm trying to get like at least days 1 and 2 done by end of March. So if I pull up that Trello board, I can kind of tell you. And you'll see when you get in there, I have a welcome video that will explain this further, but at least getting these two done by the end of March. That's why I've created so much work for myself, but I really do want to get this out as soon as possible. So, just getting, I think, these 2 full days by the end of March, and then I want to get through at least day 5 or 6 by the end of May. So I'm planning on having all of the course done before June, before we hit busy season, so that people can really get their websites running by then. And then obviously, if anything changes, which I really am hoping it doesn't, like I said, I'm burning the midnight oil, really trying to get this course done. But if anything changes, you guys will receive emails from me, but the promise is there. This will be available to you. But I'm hoping, I guess I can say I'm promising right now that it will be done before June, all of it. And then latest end of March for these, at least day 1 and 2. I'm going to start filming this actually probably like starting next week. So doing all the research first before I really dive in and make it relevant for 2025. Because the course you guys currently have access to is is 2024, which is still relevant and everything there is still great. But I think there are obviously some things like Google Analytics has changed, and there are some things I want to add and just like dive deeper into. So that's like kind of the point of the course. And guys, there's so many photographers. So what I'm planning on doing is like running Facebook ads for this, and then I'm gonna run like YouTube ads, and it's gonna be really a beast of a course. So I'm really excited about it. But I want you guys to have first access because I want it to be like a beast of a course, and so I need the feedback. So that's why you guys have it. Um,
Did we?
Olivia and Cassie, you guys probably don't need this course because you've done a mentorship with me, so you already know everything I know. Sorry, who was asking a question?
No, it was me again. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just going to
Okay.
ask, do you have on there, like, one of the things that I found super helpful was the search, like how you would go on when we were finding our niche. Like, how often is this one? I forget what it's called now, if anybody knows.
Oh, the keyword planner?
Yes, like the
Yes,
keyword
yeah. So I
planner.
have keywords here. We're gonna
Oh,
go through
okay, I
Google
missed it.
Keyword
Sorry.
Planner. No, it's all good. And then we're gonna do Uber Suggest, how you can use that tool to kind of do further. Oh, I want to add Hotjar too. Actually, I should probably do that day 7 as like analysis. See, I'm literally like still adding more videos. I'm creating more work for myself, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Let's go maybe there.
Is each day going to be a 20-minute video, or you're like
No,
going over
so
sections are
so
20 minutes?
basically day one I'm going to describe like the definition of deep work and like the value of that. So each day I'm really trying to make like 3 to 4 hours max to get through. If you can devote 3 to 4 hours max each day for 7 days, then I think you can get through this course and get your website launched, um, with homework and stuff. So 2 to 3 hours of videos, 1 hour working on the website without the videos. So like homework. Um, that's the goal. So that's why I need your feedback because I need to know if that's even possible when this. Yes, you will have lifetime access in this course. So nothing, there's no price change. It's not like a monthly subscription. You pay one fee and you're in. Um, and then, like I said, when this course is fully launched, it'll be $587. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a beast of a course because I'm putting a lot of time into it. But obviously, because the course isn't here yet, I want to give this to you in the group to help me build it so that it can be like everything you guys need when it is launched. So that's why I'm like, any other questions is great. I'm
One
kind of,
I
yeah,
Sorry, I was just going to say one idea that I have, especially if you think that you're going to finish in June, I would
yeah.
launch in August when all of the kids go back to school. Because for me, like, I have all my kids all day from June through July, but in California, school starts like August 3rd. So I would have that time, if that's making sense, to where it's like, I totally have that time now to be able to dedicate
So,
3 hours.
I think the course will be done before June, but
Oh,
anybody
I
can
see.
sign up at any time. So if
Oh, okay.
August obviously makes more sense for a photographer, then they can like start it then,
Yeah. Or if you don't have
or
kids,
purchase
you
it.
could start at any time.
Yeah, or like purchase it then. But I think I want to have the course done by beginning of June, and then we'll launch it from there. But it'll be like open enrollment forever, so people can sign up at any time, kind of thing.
Oh, cool. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was like just this dedicated time that it's like,
No, I know that some courses do that, but I have found that I think it's going to be more valuable to just have it running on an evergreen thing and just have ads running evergreen and just attracting more photographers kind of every day. It will probably be more worth it. So I don't know, we'll see. It's all trial and error for me right now. So like I said, I've put out a few courses already, but I really want to make this like my golden nugget of website information. So that's why I am telling you guys because I want your help with it. So, anywho, yes. Okay. So Shelby, I know you bought the course. Did everything go okay? Did you guys get did you get the appropriate emails? Go check your inbox. Just let me know. You should have received an email to get into the community. And then you should have received, I think, information to log in. Uh, if something goes awry, please let me know. But yeah. Can you guys think of anything else I'm missing? Okay, she says yes. Awesome. Oops. I don't know. What's something else I can go through? What would be like really valuable? So, like I said, the website templates are going to be included. So if you buy the course, you're going to get the templates when they come out. Uh, Liz is asking, will this course talk about landing pages for a specific location? I did put that somewhere, landing page. I do need to go through landing pages. I'm trying to figure out what day that will make the most sense. Let's see. So we got the pricing mini course. That's going to be a lot. We have blog and about page. we could probably do it day 6. Like I said, this is going to be such a huge course. Or you know what? Maybe we do it day 4. That would probably make more sense because we're only doing homepage and it's very similar structure. So that would probably make the most sense actually.
Do you have
So
anything
yes,
to Instagram, Danny? Like go
any
through your Instagram, like how we did on
oh,
like anything with like,
we
make
could do
sure
that.
that
Maybe
might be something helpful because so many people use Instagram.
okay, so niche all marketing platforms and then we can do like Instagram, TikTok, social media. That's a good one. I like that one. So that would probably go here. And then, yeah, I like this because a lot of people, like if you don't want to hire a brand designer, I think that that will be really valuable because then you can create your logo and choose your actual colors and stuff and how to do that. Let's see. Cool. Yeah. So, anywho, I think this is what I've got in the works so far, and I think it's gonna be really good. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. Oops. Because we're gonna do the mini course, which I think will be really cool too for pricing.
Yeah, pricing I'm struggling with right now with weddings because it's different in every state. So it's like
Yeah.
you have to try to figure out how much an average one is. So that would be like a super helpful.
So what I'm thinking is maybe so we can do find your average inquiry uh not count monthly inquiry or find your average monthly inquiry. Actually, I want to put this in Trello. Hang on one second. Where is it? Here. So what we would go over is like how to find your average monthly inquiry count, or I don't know how else to word that. Like how many inquiries you're getting per month. And then how many inquiries out of the average are booking you. So what's your booking rate? Um, booking rate at current price. How many projects do you want to take per year? And then averaging out what that price looks like. And then so basically what we would do is we would discover the demand of your current business. What's the demand look like with inquiries? And then how many projects do you realistically want to be taking on? So for me, that's like 10 a year because I'm a mom. I can't do more than that. So 10 and then and then how much you want to make money you want to make per year. And then so you divide the number you want to make by projects and then that number is what you get usually. And then but it goes deeper than that. So then you have to include expenses. So discover the expenses with each package and how much profit you make off each, because you're counting profit, not necessarily gross.
Yeah.
Uh,
And even knowing when to raise your prices, where it's like if you're booking out
yeah.
at a certain level, like I've had friends that are like, I've booked out all the way through 2026. And I'm like, what the junk? I haven't gotten one in 2025, where it's like figuring
Mhm.
out that
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. And then
Seems easy,
how to have
but
a brand, how to have a brand that matches the price you ask.
mhm. Yeah, because your website has to look
It has
like
to look elegant.
if
Like you
you're
can't be
luxury,
charging $10,000 and just have like
right,
a janky website. Like that's not gonna
right.
work.
Yeah. And that's all those things that I'm learning right now where it's like, wait, I look like I am this much. Like, do I need to up my,
Yeah.
visuals or whatever?
Right. And that would go back to niching too. Anyway, I
Yeah.
think that's good. Okay, cool. Um, yeah. So that's kind of essentially what's in the course or what's coming. But if you guys have any other questions or things you want to go through, let me know. I got my coffee. Yay, Liz! She says she purchased it. Awesome. And she says she's in with no issues. Love to hear that. So excited. I mean, it's just so technical, the back end of creating a course like this. So I'm like, I'm really happy to hear everyone's having success because it's a little hard to tell. I tried to test it on my end, but I'm like admin, so it's like, it's hard to do. Anyway. Cool. But I'm super excited about it. Check this out. You guys want to see something cool? Let me see if I can like turn my thing here. So I bought this teleprompter because I'm like, I'm gonna go like full send and make this super like legit course. So I have a teleprompter, and so the camera goes where's my finger? Here, and then there's a mirror, and that's what that is. And then you put your iPad or something right there, and then you get like your teleprompter app, and it can like scroll for you. And so you're not like just creating a course out of your mind or butt. You're just like, you can read it and then just get all the information out. And so I'm like, that's really cool. And then I bought some lighting. I have like this huge like softbox light that I bought. It's gonna be legit. Um, okay, so Shelby says, I keep having to pop in and out, but I took a mini session course and the girl has a pricing calculator on ChatGPT. It could be helpful for other pricing. A pricing calculator. Oh, like she used ChatGPT to ask like what her price should be? Let's do some science. Let's do some research on that because now I'm curious. Hang on. Chat
Sorry,
GPT.
hold on. I'm at work, but
You
she
okay?
basically has like I have it like on my chat GPT now too, but it's like she created like a calculator that you plug in everything to chat GPT, like your expenses and all of that, and then it gives you how much you should be charging.
How do you create a calculator with
I
chat?
have no idea, but I thought maybe that could be something you could, I don't know, you could add in there if you could figure it out.
Yeah.
Let
Hang
me
on.
see if I can try to like paste it in the group chat.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Can you how to create custom instructions? Hang on. You can use no. That would be really interesting. I'm gonna make a note so I don't forget that. Uh, Chat GPT calculator template or something. Let's see. Okay. I want to know how she created it. So do you type that in? Help me price my minis? Is that okay? Help.
Yes. Or you just, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then what? You answer the question. So how long will each mini session be? So like maybe 30 minutes. And then 2, will your spots be back to back? We have buffer time. Buffer time of like 15 minutes. Okay, how many dates of mini sessions are you planning? This is really interesting. Okay, well, so basically she gives you the prompt. Right? Wait, no, it's a template. Template. Okay. So maybe I need to ask how to create a template in Chat GPT. Okay. All right, I'll do some research on that. But that's really fascinating. I actually kind of love that. Did it ask you these same questions?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know, let's just keep going for science. If you guys have other questions, feel free to ask. I'm just gonna keep going. How many dates of mini sessions are you planning to shoot? Oh, we'll do 1 date. I mean, we'll do like, I don't know, 8 spots. Ooh. Okay. Inside time, 5 hours and 45 minutes. What are your monthly expenses, annual expenses? Oh, so yeah, you calculate. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Um, yeah, so expenses with each package, but then what are your expenses? Ah, business expenses. Monthly and annually. I can't spell annually. That's a good point. Okay, interesting. I don't know what that number is right now, so I can't fill this out. But I guess we could just put something in for science. What are your monthly business expenses? Like, let's just do $200, and then 2 annual expenses. We'll do like $2,000 for, I don't know, and then maybe $100 for like gas. So, for okay, how long will it take you to drive to and from? Oh my goodness. How long will it take you to drive to and from your session? We'll do 30 minutes. Oh, round trip. Maybe like 1 hour. 2, how early do you plan to arrive before your first session? We'll do 15 minutes. 3, are you editing yourself? We'll do Imogen. AI. Okay. Oh, it even goes through processing time. Wow, this is cool. What hourly rate do you want to pay yourself? Well, if I'm being honest, I do 500 per hour. So, uh, hang on. Or I guess no, I raised it to 700 per hour. But it's just gonna divide it. Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense. But I guess hourly, maybe that's a different question. At least 50? Okay, well, let's do 50 an hour. Okay. 280. That's probably more accurate. Interesting. Cool. Very cool. I like it. I like it. Very fascinating. But yeah, if I can set up like a template like that, that would be really great. Or even like a spreadsheet or something that's like pre-filled out to kind of help with like a calculator. Cool. Do you guys have any questions or do you guys want to go through anything? Everybody who's here, is there anything you want me to touch on? Do you want me to look through your website?
Okay, I do have a question.
Yes.
Actually, I have two questions, but
Hi.
hey,
going?
I was cooking and taking care of the baby and doing that whole
No
thing. So
problem.
don't mind the hot mess mom thing right now. But first of all, you're inspiring as fuck. I don't know how you do this with 3 babies, run a
Either.
whole business, and a husband that, goes back and forth for work. Like, that's true goals. We're trying to have another one. So I'm like, dude, Danny's doing it. Like, I just got to follow everything she says and I'm going to be able to do that.
I
So,
hope so. I mean, wow, a lot of pressure. That's my hope, but yes.
yes. So that I just wanted to say that. But the other question is, I'm doing my homepage and my pricing page, and I keep finding that they're almost very similar. I like both of them, right? And I want to make sure that there is some differences in it. So if you have any tips on how I can make, like, is the pricing page, should that be more detailed?
So I think pricing page should be more like centered around like the value of the packages, whereas your homepage is centered around that keyword. So if it's like what keyword have you set for your homepage?
So for my homepage, it's Florida elopement photographer.
Okay. So everything on that page should be Florida elopement, value of my photography, my vision. Here's what to expect working with me, like here's how to get married in Florida. That type of thing. Your packages then are more of like, here's the value and my differentiator as a photographer, kind of more laid out or just like diving deeper into that, if that makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Yes.
So the messaging is a little different because your homepage is more of like, I am the best Florida elopement photographer. Your pricing page is like, my packages are the best packages you're ever going to find. Here's why. Here's my value. So they are
So
different
I guess
messaging. But yeah.
I guess my other question to kind of narrow it down, because I'm like super new. I just niched down within the last year. I had
Cool.
a baby. I'm still growing content. All the other content that I have is like 2-hour stuff and like intimate weddings, really. So for the keyword on the homepage, Florida elopement photographer. Now for the pricing page, that's where I'm kind of having a little bit of the keyword issue because I don't have Tampa, like Tampa, St. Pete, right? Um, and
that's good.
I'm willing to go anywhere in Florida. So it's a little like, do I just make my pricing page Tampa, like for now, or
I don't know. Let's see.
thing?
You could do that keyword. So Florida elopement packages. There is a little bit of competition. But that would probably make more sense. Where specifically are you focusing again?
So
Tampa?
I'm in Tampa. Yeah, Tampa, there's not much keyword
Elopement
stuff for St. Pete,
packages.
but
Yeah, even that's like medium. I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably do Florida elopement packages. And then just out of curiosity, I want to know who's coming up for that. Florida elopement packages. Here comes the guide. Okay. Florida key weddings. Not sure I love the design here.
the nice thing about Florida is that there isn't that many elopement photographers here that do specifically like multi-hour, multi-day. So it's a lot of photographers that offer elopement packages, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So here's people showing up for Florida elopement, but oh, they do have their pricing on that one. All inclusive, starting at, yeah. This is why it's really important to look at the competition too. And then if you want to go even further, you can use Uber Suggest and you can see where their domain score is, put in their domain, and if you can actually compete with them. I think you should still probably use this keyword, but I like to get higher for something ranking like this. Like just seeing what you need to do to kind of get there. So if let's say this website has a domain score of like 15 and your domain score is like 5, then they're obviously going to be higher on the list. Plus they also have the keyword throughout their page, so Google is already like reading that too. So that's how you kind of know how to beat the competition. So you have to get more of like that domain authority, which really comes from like those um, inbound links of other websites linking to your site. You can even do that through Pinterest too. So Pinterest is a really great way to kind of boost your domain score. But having like, that's why like I'm always saying, get in on awards, submit your work for the awards and be submitting your blog like to publications and even look for like Florida local publications. Maybe there's a Florida like wedding magazine that you can reach out to and like submit work. There's a really quick ways to get domain links, which will increase your authority the quickest. Another great way to kind of increase your authority is to be doing those blogs. Um, I will say quality goes farther. So don't just like whip together a blog and then post it. Like definitely put time into it and make sure you're using keywords. But the more pages you're creating, if they're high quality pages, then Google will also see that as like you're a valuable domain and will also raise your score. So you can kind of do that. But that's like competing with a word that maybe has more of a medium competition. Um, so I don't know. My suggestion for you would probably to go with Florida elopement packages as the keyword, have it throughout the page, and then have the messaging be all around like Florida packages, um, Florida pricing, that type of thing.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean the messaging on your homepage is like I said, it's going to be more of like the Florida elopement type deal, and then the Florida elopement packages is like talking about the value of what you offer in each package, like what is your differentiator. Like for Olivia, hers was she's going to deliver your gallery in 1 month, so talk about that. For me, I obviously do the all-inclusive planning for an elopement, so that also includes like permit process. I will handle the permit. I'm also an officiant, so I can also legally marry you, which is really valuable for people to know. So like, what are some things that are kind of differentiators that you can include on your pricing page? That's kind of the way to go with that. And then the homepage is more of like what we talked about with philosophy and brand message and what you do to kind of like give the best product of the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does
Okay.
make sense. It's just so much when you're starting out that it's
I
like
know.
overwhelming. And my husband's like, just focus on the blogs. Like, those are the way to go. Cause everyone says, yeah, I went through like a coaching thing and she's like, you should do blogs. And
Yeah.
it's a lot to time manage having a baby and trying to like start up a business. And like I've been doing it for 3 years, but within the last year I've just niched down and it's like, well, I don't have the content. I have to build the content. Now we have the website. Now we have this. It's like, whew,
Yeah.
and you're a new mom. So it's just,
I
yeah,
know
it's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot. Well, I was gonna say you can like what I'm gonna go through in the course because I'm kind of positioning this course to be for like photographers that don't have the time to be posting to social media and doing all the marketing every day. Um, I'm gonna go through how to actually like make a valuable blog in like 5 minutes, and I have a blog on it currently with the pick time thing. But kind of diving further into that, like how do you put together a valuable blog in like 10 minutes or less? And using pick time or narrative or something like that, while also getting all of the good SEO and just making sure that you can get it done. And if you can whip out like, two or three and then schedule them out so that they're posting every month kind of thing, and you just sit down in an afternoon and do like two or three blogs and then schedule them out, then you're set. And you're currently like still posting blogs, but it didn't take you 2 or 3 hours to kind of formulate. Um, so there are smarter, what I'm trying to say is there are smarter ways to do this, like time wise, like whether that's hiring someone to do it for you, or if you want to do it, doing the quick method with like pick time or narrative or something like that. Um, and just putting it out in like 10 minutes. And yeah, so there are smarter ways to work, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I really want to dive into in the course because I know a lot of moms are going to probably get this course because I relate a lot with that of like I'm still getting inquiries and I haven't really posted to Instagram in like 3 or 4 months.
Mhm.
So, it's great that like that's working for me and that's like what I want everybody to have who is also a
So
mom.
then I'm going to ask you a really random personal question then.
Sure.
Not super personal, but if you were to give yourself advice when you first started as an elopement photographer with your first baby, what would it be?
Um, like already had my first baby.
Yeah, I guess when did you start your business?
So I've had my business since 2018. I did the elopement business in 2020, but I had my first kid in 2022. So I would say I would say the first thing you should do right now is get your website running because it takes kind of not a while, but it can take longer for SEO to build, like to get the good domain authority and all of that. Like it takes time. So I would say get your website up and running and really, really focus on that. You can do Instagram with it, and there may be a little bit of a hustle period to get it all done and really like buckle down and get it out and running. Kind of like what I'm doing with this course right now. Like I'm definitely working more hours than I ever have like the past 2 years, but it's because I'm working on the course. Like I need to hustle a little bit to get it done. So, you might need to hustle a little bit in the beginning, and that's okay. Give yourself grace. But uh be working on those things and be thinking of strategies of where your business can be truly automated to where you're not having to work 5, 6 hours a day. And websites are a great way, to be getting those inquiries and not having to post to social media every day. So I guess I would say think through the ways that you can start automating and making it really easy on yourself so that you can hang out with your kids and play and not have to worry about your business, but also uh, work less hours in the day if you have to. And I think website is probably the best one for that because you still have to automate unless you hire out. But when you're starting, you can't hire a virtual assistant. You don't have the money to do it. So typically, doing the
Yeah,
free stuff, which is like building a website, is probably key. But taking the time to actually build it out in a way that's going to show up on Google and like all of that, not just like throwing a website together.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, for most people, that's like, oh, I need to hire an SEO consultant, or oh, I need to hire a web designer. And there's nothing wrong with hiring a web designer, but I think if you're going to hire an SEO consultant, I would really caution you against it because I've just seen people not have a lot of success with that. They really don't know like the value of what we're trying to offer, I guess, with high ticket clients like this. And your goal with SEO is to be showing up for specific keywords, not just like having keywords here and there of just general wedding photographer. Like there are so many things that I think SEO consultants don't do that really hurt photographer websites. Because I've seen in so many Facebook groups, I hired an SEO consultant and I'm still not ranking. Like, what the heck? Why didn't that work? I spent thousands of dollars. I'm like, that's such a waste of money. Like, there's such an easy way for you to do it yourself. It's not hard. And that's what I want to teach in the course. Taylor's saying I hired a web designer. It's pretty, but it's not SEO friendly, though they offered all of that. Yeah, $4,000. I think I paid like 8,000 for my website and I had to go through and kind of change everything SEO wise. So yeah, web designers don't typically design for SEO either. They're designing more on the side of like having a pretty website, but you want to be thinking about the user friendliness and the clickability factor and the engagement and all of that that really plays into making your website SEO friendly. And designers don't think about that. So that's why I'm like, I'm just going to work with a designer and tell them, hey, this needs to be SEO friendly. And then I'm also going to create my own templates and just like put them out. And that's going to be in the course. So I'm really excited about that. Shelby asked, how do you know if you're overstuffing keywords or not? Well, I would say it needs to be natural. So if it doesn't sound natural, Google may penalize you for that. I know there was a couple of people in the group that were like, my rankings tanked. And I was looking through their website and I was like, we may have keyword stuffed a little too hard here. Like maybe Google caught on to that because the algorithm's pretty smart. So, you have to be careful with that. But I would say headings for sure are okay. But if you're doing like paragraph text and let's say it's Yosemite elopement is the keyword. This Yosemite elopement was so beautiful because in Yosemite, this elopement was like it's set in the morning and at sunrise. And in Yosemite, this elopement, you're just using it and it's too much. So Google can read that, and that's when I would think it's too much. But if you're using it in the headings and titles, typically you're okay. So just be careful with the paragraph text. Yeah, you can use it like if you want like a practical approach, like use it once in a paragraph. Like don't overuse it. It has to flow naturally. Like instead of saying Yosemite elopement, maybe you can just use the keyword Yosemite. Like I love shooting in Yosemite because it's one of the most beautiful places. Like that's more natural. But if you were like, I love shooting Yosemite elopements in Yosemite, like it's too much. So um and then for images and alt text, I typically say rename the image to be the keyword itself. So Yosemite elopement photographer. The title should also be Yosemite elopement photographer. And then the alt text or the description should be what's happening in that specific image. So Yosemite elopement at Taft Point or sunset Yosemite elopement photo or, something that describes what's actually happening in the image that you have going on. But I've also seen people just use the keyword itself too in the description. I don't think that's bad either. So, um, yeah, I can do one more question just because I hear my baby and my baby's woken up, so I need to go handle that. But I can do one more question and then, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna put the link to the course. When I post this in school, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go check it out if you want to get it on the early adopter. But we'll do one more question. Or we can just chat about anything photography related. I'm cool with whatever.
How long is the discount offered for Danny? Like, do you have it just for like a certain amount of time for us?
Yes, that's a great question, actually. March 31st. So end of March when I plan on having some of the content out, that's when the pre-launch is going to end. So
Okay. Awesome. Because I definitely want to get it. I just wanted to know how much time do I have.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, end of March is currently the plan. So I think the 31st. If that changes, oh no. Am I here? Sorry. If that changes, I'll let you guys know. But that's right now. It's ambitious of me, I know. We'll see. I'm like I said, I'm working real hard to get it out. So, but I do want your feedback. Oh, Taylor's asking, will you post about it? I missed all that info. You can go watch the replay too, and I go through it further, but just to kind of we'll refresh real quick. So basically this course is what I'm working on. It's coming out and It's going to be a beast of a course. It's going to be called the 7-day photo website launcher. I want everybody to get it through it in 7 days. So launching a website, optimizing it for SEO, but also having a design that's structured to drive action with inquiries, not just like a pretty design. So that's why I'm going to be also offering like website templates, working with designers to offer their templates as well, that I think are SEO friendly, and getting that all just in this course so you can just drag and drop it or design on your own. And going through like step-by-step tutorials. So, show it, walk through Squarespace, WordPress. I'm going to go through Style Cloud too, because I know a lot of people are looking at that one as well. Cadence, all of that. Going through Google Analytics and Google Search Console, keyword research, how to get backlinks. So basically everything that's included in the old course, but just dived even further deep. And also website design is the big factor that I think was missing in my old course. So going through actually like how to structure your pages, what makes a good design, how to consider user friendliness, and then also how to research the results that you're getting with the website and how to improve from there. So that's things like Hotjar, Google Analytics, looking at your actual backend. So not just doing the guesswork, but actually making sure it works. So the goal is to have the course, you'll be able to get through the course in 7 days. There's also going to be a pricing mini, and then there's also going to be a consultation call script and behind the scenes so you can see the next step. And then I'm planning on adding Google Ads as well. To the course, like just a mini course on Google Ads. And that's all going to be included. So right now the price, I can put it in the chat again. Oh, where is that page? Oh goodness. Is this it? No, this is it. Right now the price is only $150. It will be $587 when it's launched, but you guys are getting the pre-launch because I want the feedback and I want everything to be good as we continue on and eventually launch it. So that's the goal.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be really good. Because
Yeah.
there's SEO courses, but then there's also photographer courses where they touch on website. I just want this all to be about your website and
Yeah.
getting it up. So, and I
Awesome.
want it to be affordable.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the chat just because I gotta go take care of my babe. And if you guys have questions, you can always put it in the school group. I will still be there. And then I think our website call, the website critique is not next week, but the week after that. So until then, I will see you guys there. Thanks, everyone. Have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.